Oh, morning. Welcome. Let's see. Morning, Kezia. How are you today? You all right? Nice to see you. Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Morning, Julie. Lovely to see you. Up late or early again in California. Lovely to see you. Morning, Bizarre. Morning, Maggie Cherry. Morning. I'm very well. User 2838 and a long number. Morning, Luke. Yeah, I'm having a good morning. I hope all of your mornings are going well. Julie, you are joining me from California, and so it's the middle of the night for you, or early morning anyway. Oh, Lynn, good morning. Lovely to see you. H, oh, I'm sorry you feel sad. Hopefully our live can help you feel a little bit better today. Morning, SP. Well, thank you. I was thinking I looked a bit strange today because the light on my foundation, I look like a bit like an alien. But thank you for saying I look nice. Morning, Sam. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Kaz, good morning. How is everyone? Are we all well today? Glad it's Friday. It's lovely to see you here. Yeah, I hope so too, H. Yeah, I'm really well. I'm glad it's Friday. Both my sons are away this weekend, so obviously my youngest is in Australia still, but my oldest has gone away to Bratislava for the weekend of all places. I'm afraid I need to look that up on a map because I couldn't point to it if you asked me to. I know it's east somewhere, but yeah, so my hubby and me are having a lovely weekend. So nice to have you all here. So happy Friday. For those of you who maybe you don't know me, you've not been before, then I'm Sarah. I'm a therapist. I work mostly with people who are suffering from anxiety, and I do these lives really as a safe space to answer any questions you might have on anxiety, on feeling a bit stuck, on feeling depressed, on whatever it is that you're feeling. So you're very welcome to ask me any questions, and in a minute I'll get started. I'll answer as many questions as I can. So I'm just letting everyone join us. Morning, Shanice, lovely to see you. Morning, Bridget. Gosh, joining us from New Zealand. So lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. Whereabouts in New Zealand are you? I went there with my husband a long time ago. We bought a little car and we drove around New Zealand for about 3 months. I love it. So I think it's probably my favourite place in the whole world. So, Deborah, thank you very much. She's shared the live, so I'm really grateful. There's a few things that you can do on the lives. Is that you can share if you'd like, and by sharing there's a little arrow down the bottom right hand side, and that means that you can either share it with people that you think might be interested, or you can share it by just copying the link, and then you can save it to watch for yourself later on. You can you can follow if you fancy following, if you think that this is interesting. Christchurch, so yeah, Bridget, lovely. Christchurch is beautiful. This is that you can see that there might be a thing that is a subscription. Please do not subscribe. I don't know how to remove that. I'm sorry. I put it on thinking, oh, what's this about? And now I can't remove it, and I can't find out how to remove it. So, but I do not want you to subscribe because it costs you money, and this is all free. None of this is paid for, and it never will be. All the resources that you can find through my profile are all free as well. So please don't feel that you have to subscribe. I do support a charity that's available through my profile. So if at any point you think, oh, I'm feeling generous today and I want to donate to a charity, then that's lovely. But none of that goes to me. It all goes to CALM, which is the Campaign Against Living Miserably. And it's a suicide prevention charity. So that's a little bit of stuff. Oh, look, so the user 2839 is from Dorset, the Christchurch in Dorset in the New Forest. So we've got someone from New Zealand in Christchurch and someone in Dorset in Christchurch. How lovely. So, and as Lynn said, this is a safe space. I've created this community over time since I joined in November. I want this to be a safe space. And so I have moderators on here, Lynn250, Jasmine, Vicky Hodson, Zan Shin and Vicky Handlebars, who are all here, and they know that we all know what rudeness looks like, don't we? We all know what kindness looks like. So any rudeness, anyone who's offensive in any way, there's just zero tolerance. You will be blocked, muted, and because we're just not interested. This is a place where we're all kind to one another. So thank you, Bridget. This is my favourite jumper. I was feeling a bit cold this morning, so I had a shower and put a cosy jumper on. So Janet, that's nice to know you. 2839. Let me make a note of that. 2839, you're Janet, so that I know. Okay, so let me answer some questions. What I do is I write down 3 questions at a time. I work my way through them, and then I find another 3, and so on. And Rowena Oral, this live is about it's a Q&A. It's about anxiety. It's about mental health, mental well-being, how to help ourselves with the way that we're feeling, and perhaps explain a little bit about why we're feeling the way that we're feeling. So I hope that helps. Angela, hopefully that explains to you as well what this is about. I didn't put my little sticker on today saying what it was about because I was lazy and I was on the phone to my friend till about 3 minutes ago, and I had to say, I've got to go. So my apologies for that. Okay, so let me get some questions written down, and then once you know that I'm going to answer your question, then hopefully good, Sarah. I'm glad that you like my overcoming anxiety techniques. That's so good. If you look on my profile, there are lots of videos about anxiety, techniques to help with anxiety. So let's have a look. Let's see. Okay, tips. So Rachel Gray, tips for being away from home. You're going on holiday for the first time since COVID. Okay, so I'll answer that in just a second. Great question. I think that is something that will be helpful to a lot of people, so that's brilliant. Let's see, what else can I scroll through? Okay, so user 3 million, I think. So you've got a new job and the anxiety has stopped you eating. Oh, I can't see your full comment. Oh, for days. Okay. So new job, stopped eating. Okay. Gosh, well, congratulations on the new job, but I'm sorry that it's making you feel like that. That's really hard, isn't it? But I'll answer your questions in just a moment. Hayley, thank you so much for sending a rose. That's really lovely of you. I appreciate that. Let's see. And Alice, ways to cope with health anxiety. Okay, so I've just written those 3 down, and I'll answer those, and then I'll scroll through and see other ones. So first holiday since COVID, Rachel. Well, how lovely that you're going on holiday. But we get kind of stuck into a pattern, don't we? Of we've been in this place where for a lot of us we've not really been out, we've not seen many people, we've been in our home, and so our brain uses that evidence that it's not safe to go out, it's not safe to see lots of people. It uses that as evidence unconsciously, and it creates perhaps a new belief set. So beliefs are generalisations born of experience, and if your experience over the last few years has been that it's not safe to go out, it's not safe to go far away, it's not safe to do all these things, then the belief can be, it's not safe. And so going on holiday, your brain will be thinking, we're going on holiday, and so it will be triggering fight or flight, potentially, not necessarily, but potentially, the fight or flight, because the belief is that that's a threat to you, moving out of your safe space. So how do you cope with that? Well, the first thing to know is that, to consciously know, and you know this already, that it is completely safe, that you will be safe going on your holiday, and hopefully you'll have a really wonderful time. And you will gain evidence by going on holiday that all is well. So that's something to be thinking about. And also to help your nervous system understand that all is well with you, because you are safe and well right now in this moment. And lots of the techniques that I share do that. So it's a case of creating an environment of safety in your world. So to begin to connect to the world, to begin to connect in self-care, so that you start to meet other people, you start to go out, you start to, even if you're not going on holiday, that you're starting to go out and about doing things, going out in nature, connecting with other people, doing things which you look forward to and enjoy. And then you get the release of the hormones that tell your nervous system that you're safe. You can also do coping techniques in the moment, and lots of these are shared and they're in categories in my profile page. Videos of how to breathe, how to do physical stuff, how to do tapping, how to do all sorts of things that can help you to bring those levels of stress hormones down to a more manageable level. And I think also going on holiday, so start those now, and then when you're going on holiday, have a think to yourself, what is it actually about going on holiday? Is it anything specific? Is it the whole thing? What is it? And chunk it down so that you can almost tick it off and give yourself a little tick and a little boost of dopamine, so that you've ticked off your list. You've done something that is becoming familiar again, such as, I've driven to the airport, done. Parked the car, done. Got the bus to the terminal, done. Or arrived at my B&B, arrived at my hotel, arrived at my caravan at the camping site. Whatever it is, that's done. And then, I've got to eat for the first night, or I've got to, so all of those things, chunking them down, and all of those are just giving your brain evidence that all is well. And you, I'm sure, will have a really lovely holiday. Take time to really be, because a lot of the time with anxiety we're looking way into the future. We're either imagining all the worst things that can happen or remembering difficult things that we've seen in our past. But the truth is that we're just here and now, and we're safe in this moment. The vast majority of us are safe in this moment. So I hope that helps a little bit. Do have a look at my videos. Things about anxiety information and coping techniques can be really helpful. And I hope you have a lovely holiday. When you come back, let us know how it went. So welcome to you. If you're just joining us, my name's Sarah. I'm a therapist, and I work mostly with people who are suffering from anxiety. And every Friday and Monday, as best I can, I do lives answering questions about it and trying to help people understand what anxiety is, because I think anxiety has a bit of a bad rap in our world. People think that it's this awful, terrible disease or illness, and actually it's a very natural thing, that our bodies are making us anxious because they're trying to send us a message, to draw our attention to things which our nervous system believe are a threat to us, either because they really are, or because we're making a match with things in the past that we've learnt are threatening to us. And there's lots of things that we can do about that, because once the threat is gone and we feel safe, the anxiety will go. So it is very much about, there's lots we can do for ourselves, but your question was that you've got a new job, which is great, and that you stopped eating completely. And I see that you've just commented there that you use tapping. So that is something that you could use, because the fact that you stopped eating can be all sorts of things. And so, this is a TikTok. It's not a sort of a replacement for therapy at all. So many of my answers are quite generalised, and we have to remember that every single person, each of your experiences is very unique and individual. So if what my reply doesn't quite fit with you, then my apologies for that. But generally these things are true, I find. So generally what I would say is that our eating and our digestive system is often affected by the fight or flight response. So if we're in a new situation and we feel anxious, we feel worried about it, then our nervous system is very focused on survival, basically, because it doesn't know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and the fact that you started a new job. So it triggers the fight or flight response, and as part of that, it shuts down systems which are not hugely important in this moment. Now, obviously, eating is important, but our nervous system thinks, well, for now, we can just starve for a bit because we need to concentrate on being safe. So I would say, as I say to everyone, that creating that environment of safety, that would really work for you. Also talk about how you're feeling, whether you talk to the people at work, whether there's an HR department, whether there's someone at work that you've clicked with, and you can sort of start to say, oh, I feel really a bit anxious. I'm loving the job, but it's taken my appetite away. And the more you share, the easier it becomes, and people will understand, I'm sure. But it's about doing it in a way that feels right for you. So I think as well, little and often is helpful. To maybe try smoothies, that sort of thing. If you can keep drinks down, make sure that you keep drinking lots of water. And it's easier to eat little and often than it is to eat a big meal. So as long as you're eating a little bit, then that will be helpful. And looking at, okay, when does this happen? When does it not happen? Am I able to eat at home? Is it just at work that I can't eat? What's that about? What else was I going to say? Some amazing thing I was going to say, which has gone completely out of my head. It'll come back to me, no doubt. But yeah, that's it. Wasn't that amazing? But just to know that this will pass, because the more you go into work, the more you'll be able to become accustomed to what it's like. Okay, so I hope that's today you've had porridge and it stayed down. So well done. So that's really great news. And if you know about tapping, you know how to do tapping, then you can absolutely tap on this. And the more you do that, the more your levels of stress hormones lower, the more your sense of, oh, this is good, my anxiety is getting better, and that's amazing, the easier it will become to eat. So I hope that helps a little bit. I think it's 3 million. It might be 30 million. I don't really know. But thank you for asking the question. It's amazing what anxiety does to us, isn't it? So this is a safe space. My name's Sarah. Thank you to Lynn250, who's my moderator today. This is all about kindness and patience and care, and we all know what that looks like. And so we do have a zero tolerance policy. Of anyone who's rude, then I'm afraid we just will block you, because it's not the time or place to be like that. This is about being a community and helping one another. And I'm working my way through questions about anxiety. So if you have a question, do ask. Please don't spam the timeline with it, because all it does is makes it really difficult to find people's questions. What I do is I work through 3 at a time, write them down, answer them as quickly as I can and as thoroughly as I can, and then I'll look for 3 more. So thank you for commenting. I'm going to have a little look, because I'm aware that as I'm talking, I'm not looking at the comments so much. Okay, so that's really interesting. So you're getting a therapist soon, and these things and my stuff was helpful on making you realise that you needed one. So that's so amazing. Well done you. It takes courage to do that, and I hope that it works really well for you. That's fantastic. Rachel, good morning. Happy Friday to you. It's so lovely to see you. I get so excited about answering questions, and I forget to look and I forget to look at the comments and answer you. So yeah, so Jacqueline, tapping really does help. If you look on my YouTube, if you go through my profile, you can find my YouTube, and there's loads of stuff on there about tapping. There's a few lives that I did about practical techniques where we did tapping, and Rachel was asking actually if we could do a little bit of tapping at the end of this. So if you'd like that, just let me know and we could do a little bit of tapping. If you can't stay for the whole of this live, then this will be uploaded to YouTube so you can watch it. Tapping is amazing. I'm glad it helps you, and Jacqueline, hopefully it will help you too. Let's have a look. Let's see. So welcome to everyone. It's really lovely to see you here. Thank you for any likes that you send. Thank you for following me if this is something that you're interested in. I talk about anxiety, about fears, about all sorts of things. Oh gosh, I can't see what that says. Hang on, let's have a look. I think it's Rihanna. Yeah, Rihanna. Although you don't suffer from anxiety, a few of my friends and other half do, and listening to you. So, yeah, I'm really pleased for you that you don't suffer from anxiety. I think we all do at times. It's a natural thing, but that long-term anxiety is very difficult to deal with. So, let's see. So let me answer Alice's, because Alice was about health anxiety. I've actually answered this quite a lot on other videos that I've done, other lives. So there's a category on my profile page about health anxiety. So I'm not going to sort of dwell on this for too long. I hope you don't mind. But what I would do is I'd direct you to my YouTube, and if you look in the description, it will say, yes, I've talked about health anxiety in this. So health anxiety, I think it can be really helpful to go and actually see a therapist for health anxiety, because of the nature of anxiety and the physical symptoms that it gives to us, because of the fight or flight response. We can, with health anxiety, what happens is that we notice and experience the symptoms of anxiety, and our brain adds two and two together and makes us think, oh, well, that must be that I'm suffering from something terrible. So if that's what's happening for you, then I think it's well worth watching the videos, but also well worth looking for a therapist that perhaps can help you with this, to go back to the source of where this has come from, the significant emotional event, and perhaps help you to reframe that and understand that it's your brain trying to help you, really, but going about it in a way that is very difficult. So thank you for asking that question, Alice. And Rihanna, I saw the second part of your question here. This is helping you to explain and respond to symptoms they have. It's super useful for helping you understand. I'm so pleased. That's exactly what I want, is for people to know what anxiety is, because so many people come to see me and they might have seen all sorts of people, doctors and so on. And one of the things I say is, so what's your understanding of anxiety? And lots of people don't really know. They know how it feels and they know how awful it is, but they don't really know what's going on. And I think information is power. So the more you know, the more you realise you can do something about this. It's not a disease, it's not an illness, it is a completely natural response that sometimes goes a bit haywire, because our nervous system, our unconscious mind, is working on information gleaned perhaps when we were young and we didn't fully understand what was going on, perhaps stuff that's not true any longer, but we're caught in a closed loop. So let me answer some more questions. Elizabeth Malmos, it's lovely to see you. Thank you for that comment. So, yeah. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn250 is my moderator. She's been with me for the longest. And you are so helpful, Lynn. Thank you so much. So, Lynn is saying I have techniques on my page that can be really helpful. So do go and have a look there. Let's see. Okay, so let's have a look at yours. Marika. So Marika, you're asking about panic attacks. And you're having them at your workplace. I'm wondering if you have them anywhere else or if it's just at work. But I'll come to that. I'll answer your question. Okay. Now I know. So I don't know if Denise is here, but Denise sent me an email and asking me to talk about something particularly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video for you, Denise. So watch out, and I will. I'll tag you in that video if you're here. I'm not ignoring your thing. So Okay, and so Janet's just mentioning that you have a tremor when you have anxiety, and it makes it hard to even write. And then Chloe, you're asking about social anxiety. So let me write those down. Oh, and Caitlin. Oh gosh, so Caitlin was here a little while ago and asking about the driving test. And you say, I failed my driver's licence, but thanks for your tips. I was much more calm. Going to try again soon. Bless your heart. So well done. Well done for having that really positive mindset and for noticing that you were calmer. So if you build on those techniques that I showed to you and we talked about over time between now and doing your test again, then again those levels of cortisol will and adrenaline will get lower and lower and lower, so you'll be calmer and calmer. Oh, thank you, Maddie. You're sending me roses. You're very, very kind. Thank you. But thank you for letting us know. I really appreciate that. And good luck for next time. Let us know when you pass, because I know you will. So, Marika, you were asking about, you're having panic attacks at work. So panic attacks can feel horrible, and they can be panic attacks that are really obvious to other people, very, as you might imagine, panicky and crying, also that sort of thing. Or they can be quite quiet, that perhaps no one knows about, but you feel them within yourself. So I have done some videos on panic attacks, so it's worth going to have a look at those. A panic attack is purely the fact that your nervous system has been sending you messages, letting you know this is not a safe environment. This is not a safe environment. There is threat here. And you have been, probably because you're at work, you've just been ploughing on thinking, I need to keep going. And so the nervous system goes, well, she's not listening to me, therefore I'm going to ramp things up. And that is what a panic attack is that everything is ramped up and you get the huge release of adrenaline and cortisol, more than you've already got, that's making you feel anxious. And so it becomes so overwhelming that, there's no mistaking it. So what can you do about it? Well, I would say listen to the messages that are being sent around anxiety. Try and work out what is it that is actually making you feel anxious at work, and is there something practical you can do about it? Can you talk to someone about what's going on at work to help you? Is there training that you can do if you're feeling overwhelmed with sort of the practical side of work, or is it the social environment of work? Begin to create an environment of safety for yourself, so that you use self-care every day. You can use breath techniques, physical techniques to help you, because I imagine, it depends what you do. I imagine unless you are doing something that is physically dangerous, the chances are that you're not in actual danger at your work. So it's just that your brain believes that you're in danger. So by letting your brain know through the physical techniques that I share, letting it know that you're safe can be really helpful. And that when that happens, when you do those techniques, the levels of adrenaline and cortisol lower. So even if you are triggered into a bit of a panic attack, you're starting from down here, so it just goes ooh and down. But I don't think you will. I think what will happen is you might still experience anxiety, but a panic attack is when you're starting from up here with your levels of adrenaline and cortisol, and then it goes like that and overflows. So I hope that helps a little bit. Also talk to, if there's someone at work that you trust, who you could say, all right, this is what I need you to do, so that you have a plan, so you're much more in control. So if it does begin to happen, perhaps you can remove yourself from the environment. Maybe go outside, maybe say, oh, I'm just going to go and I need to go to the loo. If you're not allowed to go outside necessarily, then go to the loo, do some breath techniques, just take a few moments for yourself, because these techniques take minutes. They don't take hours. They take 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. You can make a real difference to how you're feeling. So that's something to think about. And if people around you, if there's people that you trust, know, and you can have that signal of, oh, I'm going, and organised beforehand how they could perhaps help you, then that can be really helpful. Even if just someone just goes, it's all right, I'm here, it's okay, just take your time, let's breathe together. Then you co-regulate one another. So I hope that helps a little bit. I hope that's all right. Thank you if you're joining us. I'm Sarah. Happy Friday to you. It's really lovely to see you here. I'm a therapist and I work with people who have anxiety, and I'm just working my way through questions that people have asked. I've got another couple, one from Janet, one from Chloe coming, and then I'll get some more. But it's lovely to have you here. I really appreciate all of your likes, all of your follows. If you're interested, there's all sorts of videos on my profile page about anxiety, about coping techniques, and through my profile there's also links to my website and to other websites where there are lots of free resources and information, and there's my YouTube where there's lots of more videos for you to look at. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you giving up your time. If you're only just dipping in and you think, oh, this is actually quite interesting, but you don't have time to be here for long, then do check out my YouTube video, my YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe, then these will be uploaded and you'll get to see them, in your own time. So happy Friday, Amber. And yes, my email address is in my bio. It's sarah@sarahharris.com. Maddie, oh welcome Maddie, it's so lovely to see you again. Yeah, I'm working with a few people in the States at the moment. I'm working with people in the States, in Canada, where else? Switzerland, various places. So the joy of Zoom, it means I can work with people from all over the place. I do have a long waiting list at the moment. I'm trying to work my way through it, but it's not an immediate thing that I can see people. So yeah, and so, I can't see your name. Is it Farazan? Farazan, welcome. Yes, how do you, I'll make a note of that. Oh, so actually so Farazan, I'll write that alongside Chloe's, because Chloe was asking about social anxiety. Let me answer Janet's question here. So Janet was saying that she gets tremors with the anxiety that she's experiencing, and it can be, all of these physical symptoms can feel really scary, because you can be just absolutely fine and then all of a sudden you're in anxiety for whatever reason, and we don't quite know. We all do our anxiety differently, and so the anxiety appears and it's the release of adrenaline and cortisol into our system, and those chemicals affect us physically. So the tremors come from an excess of adrenaline in our system. So if you imagine that you were, I don't know if you watch MasterChef or anything like that, where they're cooking and they're going to present something to the judges, and they need to put like little delicate micro herbs on their food, and their hands are like this, shaking. Well, that is what you're experiencing for a different reason. So it's that adrenaline is flowing through your system, preparing your big muscles to get out of there, to escape, because your nervous system is saying, this is a terrible situation for me to be in, I don't want to be here, this is threat. And your sympathetic nervous system is being triggered, and that means you get an increased flow of blood to your big muscles, and your whole system is telling you, get out of here, or it makes you really angry and like you want to fight your way out of a situation. When you can't do that, when you're stuck at work, for example, or you're stuck on MasterChef putting micro herbs on your salad, where does that energy go? It can't escape. So you're like this. So Caroline makes a really good point here. And I probably should have said this. So any of the physical symptoms that you get, so if you have an onset of a physical symptom, don't just think to yourself, I'll Google that, I'll look at Dr. Google, and it's probably this. Do go and see your doctor, because it might be something else, it might not. But I think it's always very, very necessary, helpful, useful, advisable to go and see our doctors when we have any physical symptoms, because I'm not a doctor. Don't take it from me as just some person on TikTok that tremors are definitely this. So, but if they're just turning up and they're in both hands and it's when you're feeling very anxious, and the chances are they're anxiety, but just double check by going to see your doctor. And it's the same with any physical symptoms that you get. So I hope that helps a little bit. So it's that sort of nervous energy, and you can help that by all the things that I've been mentioning. That sense of just creating an environment of safety, reducing the levels of adrenaline and cortisol by doing things which release other hormones such as dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, serotonin. So I hope that helps a little bit, Janet. So Chloe and Farazan were asking about social anxiety. Now, social anxiety is something that I think probably all of us have experienced at some point in our lives. And again, it's completely normal for all of us to feel perhaps a little bit nervous when you're going into a new situation, meeting new people. Not everyone, some people are really excited about meeting new people and going into new situations. If you suffer from social anxiety, then it's interesting to have a look at it and observe and think, so when do I actually feel this? Is it with one person, meeting one person new? Is it with 3 or 5 or 8 or 500 people? Is it when people come to my place, or is it when I go out to meet them? Is it at parties, or is it, when does it happen? When does it not happen? So you start to narrow down the occasions when it's there for you. And then once you know that, then it's quite liberating, because you can think, well, look at all these other times where actually I feel okay and I feel comfortable in me. What will have happened is that at some point in your life there will have been a significant emotional event. Something will have happened that has made your nervous system think, oh, this is a threatening place to be. Perhaps it might have been that you feel judged by people in a situation, or you feel uncomfortable, or you feel humiliated, or whatever it is. And that can be helpful to work with a therapist about that. Especially, what I do is Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy, which is a framework for all sorts of models that we use to help people, including positive psychology, NLP, things like AMDR, various techniques. But if by seeing a therapist, they can help you go back and work out, where did this come from? And then you reframe that and you realise, that wasn't about me at all. That was that person just wasn't a nice person. It wasn't that I was doing anything wrong. And so that sense of fear and feeling other, perhaps, is you just get rid of it. So the thing happens still, but the emotion is taken away from it. So that when you go out and about, and the more you go out and about, the better it will become, but you'll feel much more relaxed in yourself. There's also stuff that you can use, like breath techniques, the physical techniques, which I share on my page. So I hope that helps a little bit. I have done more videos on social anxiety, which are a bit longer perhaps, but go and have a look at those as well. But right, let me have a little look. Let's have a look. Let's see. So thank you, Tash, sending me roses. That's so kind of you. So let's see. So user 409, you were asking about anxiety when driving. So I'll come and deal with yours. Let's see, so you're asking about your 9-year-old with anxiety about schoolwork. She's got dyslexia. Okay, let let me see, and then let's see what else. Oh, Janet, that's so nice of you. Thank you. So you're in California. What a beautiful place to live. But you're British. I'm so glad that you find this comforting. That is my aim. I just, I'm not perfect. I don't have the answers to everything. And my training is, limited to a certain area. I don't work with psychiatric conditions, for example. But I do work with people who, we're all just normal people. We're all fellow strugglers, aren't we? We're going through stuff in our life. And the thing to remember, though, is that it's temporary. None of us are ever going to be stuck. It can feel like it. It can feel that we felt anxious all our lives, but maybe we've just not met the right therapist yet. We've not had the right information shared with us yet. And as we learn more about anxiety and we begin to realise that, okay, it's that, and I can do something about it, then, for me, I hope that is comforting, because I think there's this sort of general belief that anxiety is this terrible disease that people have, and once you have it, you're never free of it. But I don't believe that at all. I really think you can make a huge difference just by using the techniques that I share, looking at other people. If you go and have a look at Gabor Mate, he's incredible, the work that Gabor Mate does. So yeah. Our childhoods have a lot to do with how we feel now. Sometimes if you've had a difficult childhood, it's natural that the world can seem like a scary place. But that's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an absolutely disastrous, terrible childhood. Sometimes it can be moments in your childhood that have made you feel the way that you feel. So let's have a look. My eyes are terrible. I've got the big text on too. So I love Daddy Pig. When a child is very anxious generally, do you think it's best to help them socialise or not push? Let me make a note of that. So child, anxious, push or not. Okay. So I'm going to answer those 3 questions. So I've got user 409, something or other, D, and then I love Daddy Dog. So I'm going to be answering yours just in a moment. If you can't stay, don't worry, because this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to watch the whole thing in your own time over the next couple of days. It will be uploaded, hopefully later today. Thank you so much for all being here. I just love it. I'm never quite sure when I come on these if anyone's going to be here at all, and what it's going to be like. And so you're all so welcome, and it's just lovely to have you here. And I see the same names coming week after week, and I absolutely love that. If I don't say hello to you individually, then I do forgive me. I love the interactions that I have on my videos in the week when people comment. I love it. I love hearing about your lives, and so yeah. Yes, and Lynn's right. So Ava, you've added your name now. It is when there's just a user. I mean, some people, for privacy, I totally understand, but if it's your name, it's lovely to have your name. So, okay, let me answer these questions. So user 409, I don't know if that's you, Ava, but anyway, so anxiety driving. So I think that a lot of people have this, and it can come and go, and it is going to be because of the experiences that you've had, either when you were a passenger in someone else's car, or maybe because of your experience learning to drive, maybe experiences you've had whilst driving, or maybe your brain has tied an experience outside of driving into driving. So it can be nothing to do with driving, but you're feeling anxious over here, and then you get in your car and you're driving and you're anxious, and then it becomes an anchor that, oh my goodness, the last time I was in my car, I felt really anxious because that other thing was happening. And so it can be that sort of thing. So it's interesting to look at what was going on when you started to feel anxious around driving, because that can be perhaps the thing that's tied together. with driving. It can be that anchor. So have a look at that, and have a look at tapping perhaps might be really helpful around driving. So not whilst you're driving, don't tap whilst you're driving, whatever you do. But in times when you're not driving, if you have a look, there's lots of videos on my YouTube and also on my profile page here on TikTok about tapping. And you could do, even though I feel really anxious about driving, I know that it's something temporary and it's happened for a good reason, and I'm working my way through it, that sort of thing. So have a think about that. Think about lowering your levels of anxiety by using other things as well, such as the calming techniques, the physical techniques, and you can also breathe whilst you're driving. The breath techniques can be really helpful to sort of get in the car and use one of the reset breaths. So the breath perhaps where either you do a double breath, and I posted one of these I think yesterday at the double breath, or the reset where you imagine that you're a boat just coming into a jetty, where you just slow everything down and then start again with your breathing. Nice, slow, long out breath. Don't worry too much about your in-breath, but long, slow out breath. So everything is calm, and you can almost almost sort of become someone else, so that you can become you're the driver person. You're that slow, steady driver. There you are, in your car. So you've lowered the levels of adrenaline and cortisol by self-care every day, by doing the techniques that send the message to your nervous system that you're safe. And then over time, what will happen is that you notice, you could write this down, you could notice the best moments of this particular journey, notice what did you do well. So you start to tip the balance away from, oh my goodness, everything is so awful, to I did really well there, I'm getting better at this, I'm feeling less anxious, I'm feeling happier and calmer. You use those words, try and use words which are positive, rather than, oh, I'm not feeling anxious, I'm not feeling scared, because your brain doesn't hear the not, it hears the scared, anxious. So use words like, I'm feeling calmer, I'm feeling happier, I'm feeling more relaxed, I'm feeling more confident in what I'm doing, I'm feeling looser, freer. All of those words are really helpful. So I hope that helps a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us here. It's so lovely to have you. We have people from all over the world. It's so wonderful. Maddie is from America, Julie's from America, we've got Bridget from New Zealand. It's just wonderful, and this is the lovely thing about TikTok, isn't it, that we can all come together in this lovely safe space. So San, thank you. The double breath video really works, lowering anxiety. You tried it yesterday, so that's great. I'm so pleased to hear that. Thank you, San. So Dee, and you talking about your 9-year-old who is very anxious, and you're thinking about how to help them with they're worried about their schoolwork because they have dyslexia. And I think this probably ties into Julie's question. Julie, I love Daddy Dog. So I saw that your comment that your name's Julie, so welcome, Julie. It's Julie's question was, what do you do with a child who's anxious? Do you push them or not? What do you do? And so those two questions are really linked. So I'm going to answer these, and then we'll do a little bit of tapping, perhaps, just to finish off the live. For me, children are learning, their brains are developing. Oh, Caitlin, welcome from Belgium. Sorry, I just saw Julie, your comment. Okay, so children are developing and learning. Their brains are developing, and our brains are developing all the way through until we're about 28. And we still continue to grow. Our brains are plastic. We can change the way our brains are configured up until the day we die, So what happens, Gabor Mate speaks really beautifully about this. he talks about a child, a child being left to cry, a child being left to be in their anxiety. What does that teach a child? It teaches a child that the world is not a safe place, and if you need help, it's not there. And so for me, my instinct is if a child is anxious, comfort them. If a child is worried about their schoolwork, reassure them. If a child is shy and doesn't want to go and be in big social situations, then support them. It's not about just saying, and I'm sure you are, it's not about just throwing them in there and saying, well, you have to sink or swim. It's about helping them understand that it's normal. It's okay to feel the feelings that you're feeling. Being dyslexic just makes you someone who has other special qualities. And yes, it might be more difficult for you to read the text on a page, or to perhaps be organised in certain ways. But how can we work around this? Let's do this together. Let's find out about it. Let's look at who else in the world is... Oh, Wendy, it's so lovely to see you. Sorry, everyone, stopping for a moment, but Wendy is so wonderful. It's lovely to see you, Wendy. Hope you're okay. So supporting that child, helping them realise that it's okay to be them, it's okay to feel, it's okay to be afraid, and that you are there for them. You love them no matter what, and that you can find a way, and that there are people... Look at some of the most successful people in the world who are dyslexic, who have ADHD, who have ADD, who are on the spectrum. Incredible people. We are all unique individuals, and we all have our own gifts, our own strengths. And so to big them up like that, and so that they know that they can come to you, that they can come to you for help and to work out strategies together. So someone just saying there that the assumption is that approach makes them soft. Can you comfort too much? That's actually a very good point. And I don't think so. I think it's a balance, isn't it? So you want people to be eye-lock. Now, eye-lock means that you have an internal locus of control, so that if a problem occurs, we have the confidence to work the problem, so that it's okay to feel uncomfortable, to let the children know it's okay to feel a level of discomfort, because actually that's just your nervous system sending you a message and saying, oh, this is something new and uncertain. Is this safe? And actually, just to take a moment and to observe and go, oh yeah, actually it is. I am safe in this environment. And if you're there with them and can help them, and you can say, okay, so how could you deal with this situation? So you're not dealing with it for them. You're not solving all their problems for them. You're saying, how would you deal with this? Have you got some ideas? Have you got some ideas about what would be a good way to help yourself with, like with the dyslexia? I'm sure that you've spoken to the Senko, but for you to go in, you could say, would you like me to go in and talk to the teacher? Would you like us both to go in? Should we talk to the Senko? Because there's loads of things that they can do, either you giving you a keyboard, giving you coloured paper, filters, films that you can put over sheets, and so on, the spacing of typesetting and that kind of stuff. So to help them understand that they have the capacity within them to deal with these situations, and let them know, this anxiety, not just saying, oh, don't worry, it's all fine, you're going to be fine, but saying, oh gosh, that must be really difficult for you. How does it feel? Where do you feel it? Let's breathe together. You could teach them. Children love stuff like tapping. They love like the triangle breath. They love this thing. They love visualizations that you can do, such as spinning is a great one. So for them to know that they have control, that they can take control of their the problems in their life. I don't think it's about being soft. It's about showing them that you love them, but also enabling them so that they can work out their problems themselves, if that makes sense. So pushing them, it's not about, pushing them in the deep end and going, no, you go in there, don't cry, I don't want any of this nonsense. In you go, you're going to that party whether you like it or not. It's not that. It's much more about saying, okay, so what would work? Do you think maybe if you go to the party, you could go and you can call me, or I'll talk to their mum, and you can just, the mum will know that if you want to come home, then you can come home, and that's fine. But just give it a go, because you know that the chances are if they get there, they'll really love it and enjoy it. And that's giving them and their nervous system evidence that, oh, I can do these things. I was safe, and I can face the future a bit better. Does that make sense? So Holly's saying, I don't think you can comfort a child too much. We all need comfort, even as adults. I agree with you. I think that it's all about kindness. It's about creating a balance, so that you're not mollycoddling a child, but you're acknowledging them, you're seeing them. I hate it when I saw someone at the airport a while ago. This little boy was crying, and the dad was going, big boys don't cry, don't you cry, don't you? And I just wanted to go over there and say something and pick that little boy needed scooping up and holding and reassuring and saying, do you know what, it's okay, you cry and this will pass and you will be all right. This is just your body telling you that something was difficult at the moment, and it's okay. That kind of thing. So there's a difference, I think. I hope that helps a little bit. Wendy, I'm glad you took the chance to come today. I'm sorry that your anxiety is really bad at the moment, but I hope you can just settle back and enjoy being here with us. We're going to do a bit of tapping in a moment. So thank you for asking those questions. Yeah, Wendy, you're right. I think people do need to be able to let their emotions out. So many clients say to me, I don't like my children to see that I'm upset. But it's human to be upset. It's okay. It's okay. And what happens is that you forget that you're not upset forever. What happens is that your children see that you're upset. They see that you deal with it, that you come out the other side, that you have techniques to help yourself, and then they see that you're all right afterwards. And that is such a helpful thing for a child to see, that when they're upset, it's okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to feel. So let's finish up. It's nearly 11 o'clock, so we've been going for nearly an hour. So I think it would be a really nice thing. Rachel suggested this the other day, to do a little bit of tapping together. So you don't need to have done this before, but just tap along with me if you would like to. Julie, it does go so fast, doesn't it? My next one is Monday coming, so I'm going to do a live this Monday. I'm actually it's going to be an hour later, so do have a look on my profile. I haven't posted it yet, but I'll do everything so you can register if you'd like to, so it will remind you. It's going to be at 6 p.m. On Monday. That's British Standard Time, so 6 p.m. So hopefully that'll be easier for you, Julie, because that will be, what does that make it? 10 o'clock in the morning for you, I think. But yeah, so do come along for that. So let's start tapping. So if you tap with me, tapping is something that is really helpful to lower anxiety. And we start off with a setup phrase, and it's in two parts. The first part is about what's going on wrong for us, what we're feeling. And the second part is something a little bit more optimistic. So it's even though I'm feeling difficult feelings at the moment, I know that this is temporary and it will pass. Even though I'm feeling difficult feelings at the moment, I know that it's temporary and it will pass. Even though I'm feeling really difficult feelings at the moment, I know that it's temporary and it will pass. And then we tap at the top of our head here, just a medium tapping. This feeling that I'm feeling right now, whether it's in my mind or my body, it can be overwhelming at times. It's so difficult. And it's okay to feel. It's okay to just be with this feeling, knowing that it will pass, that I'm not trapped here, that this goes up and down. And over time, it can diminish and diminish as I work my way through. And then we go to this point here, just tapping on the inside of our eyebrow, just being with this feeling. Just helping myself to slow everything down, to calm, allowing my muscles to soften, my breath to slow. Just taking my time, being kind to myself. And then this corner, the side of your eye socket. Just taking my time to tap through how I'm feeling. And if you're just joining us, you can still join us tapping. This is helping us with anxiety, with any difficult feelings that we might be feeling, just to help, just slowing this down. Just understanding that my body, my mind, my nervous system is just sending me messages, helping me to understand that I need to look after myself. I need to be kind to myself. I need to just slow down. Just breathing. Sighing if I need to. Letting that energy, that breath go. Just taking my time. And then tapping underneath here. Just being aware of that I'm okay, I'm a good person. And even though I might feel these feelings so strongly, they don't have to be with me forever. I can come to a place of acceptance, a place of slow, calm steadiness. It can help me so much. Just tapping and breathing, just being, working my way through. And then underneath your nose, on this sort of top lip area, just being aware of the flow of the energy, things beginning to move, any difficult feelings beginning to flow away, perhaps beginning to be replaced by something different, something calmer, something quieter. Being kind to myself. Just allowing things to be. And then just here, it's welcome if you're joining us. You can tap away with us. We're just tapping, calming, just to end this live. Just taking time. Being aware of this sensation. Just working way through, wondering the difference from the beginning to the end, and maybe beginning again if you need to. And then just tapping underneath your collarbone. Sometimes there's a place that's a little bit more tender, and that's the place. Just taking time, just tapping and being aware of all the other people all around the world, from California to New Zealand, from Dorset to Belgium, from Wales to Scotland, from England to France. People just sitting in their homes, tapping, being. People in Tennessee. Welcome, Tracy. Just tapping. Being, letting any difficult feelings just flow away. to be replaced by a calmness. Last place, just under here. Just taking your time, knowing that we're here for you and you can be there for you too. Just being, just tapping, calming. And then when it feels right for you, just holding yourself. Maybe closing your eyes for a moment, reassuring yourself, holding yourself, embracing yourself. And then letting go. So, how was that? You enjoy that? I hope you did. I hope you did. It's something that there's videos on my page about tapping, and it's such a useful skill. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Jane. It's so lovely to see you. If anyone's just joined, oh, Rachel, I'm glad. I did it because your message the other day, I thought I must remember to do it. So it's a real pleasure. I love tapping. Chloe, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Ah, mahalo. So that's so kind of you. I love that you're joining us from Oahu. You're very welcome. Thank you. Amber, do you know what? Yes, it is. It is normal to let that feeling, the emotion go. It's okay to cry. People don't always cry, but quite often they do cry. It's just that sense of letting it go, letting it be. And Anastasia, hello. It's so lovely to have you here. Kalimera. So I was thinking of my Greek, how to say good morning. So Kalimera is Greek for good morning. You're very welcome. It's nice to see you here. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you for your lovely messages, your excellent questions. Thank you for the conversations that I've seen that you have amongst each other. It's just really lovely. Thank you so much to Lynn250 for being my amazing moderator. Lynn is just incredible. You just turn up every single time out of the goodness of your heart, and the information that you give to everyone, the questions that you answer, the practicalities that you answer. I so appreciate you being here. I have other moderators, Jasmine and Vicky Hodson, and I have Zanshin and Vicky Handlebars. I've not seen them today, but they're often here, and I appreciate all of their help. If you are here and I haven't spotted you, then my apologies. But Lynn, thank you so much for being you. If you've missed this, I know I saw when I was tapping that a few of you were saying, oh no, I've missed it. I will upload it. The recording of the whole live will go up on YouTube, which is reachable. Oh, thank you so much for those roses. That's very kind of you. It will go up on my YouTube channel, which is reachable. If you go into my little picture, if you click on that in a minute when this is over, you can follow me. That would be great. But on my profile, where all my videos are, there's a little link, it says Linktree, and if you click on that, you'll go through to a whole list of resources. So there's my YouTube, my website, my Quest Hub, which has got loads of resources and articles. There's my therapist finder, you can find other therapists like me. There's all sorts of great resources on there, so do go and have a look. On my website there's various free downloads that you can request. I do it by hand myself and email it to you personally, so it might take a little while to get to you, but I promise it will get to you as long as you give me your right email address. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say, other than thank you. Oh, the next one is Monday, so it's make a note of this. It's a different time. It's 6 p.m. UK time on Monday. I'll be doing a live. If you have any suggestions for something that you'd like me to do, then just let me know. If you'd like me to do a practical one, if you'd like me to do a tapping one, if you'd like me to talk about something else, I did a YouTube one a while ago about how to find a therapist. So there's lots of things that maybe you're interested in, that perhaps you could suggest. Oh, Julesy, it's so lovely to see you. Julesy is going to be doing her own live, her first live. At some point, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. She's just hit that just over 1,000 followers. So do go and follow her and look out for her lives, because I think they'll be really great. But it'll be on my YouTube if you have time. Yes, well done. So I'm going to finish now. But thank you for being here. You take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to the people around you. And I will see you on Monday, hopefully. I'm just going to hang around just a bit just to say hello to people. So, but you take care. And thank you, Lynn. Thank you, all of you. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Have a lovely weekend, you too. Amber, see you on Monday. Thank you, San. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend. Data Blast. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Farm Girl. Thank you, William Stewart. Lovely to see you. So UK, it's just we're so small. We only have one time zone. So I think if you're in Hawaii, you're probably about 8 hours away from us. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're in the same time zone as California. But if you just Google it, if you just say what is 6 p.m. BST, then it'll tell you what that is. So it's probably about 9-10 o'clock in the morning with you. I hope that helps. Have a great day, Caitlin. Oh no, Emily, you just miss it. What a shame. Catch up on the YouTube. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. Next one's Monday at 6. Maddie, you take care. Have a lovely weekend. Oh, thank you for your thoughts about the Queen. That's very sweet. Yeah, it's quite a strange moment, isn't it? Jasmine, oh bless you. I hope they're not working you too hard. I hope you've had a good week. Have the best day and a lovely weekend. You take care. Maggie, have a lovely weekend. Yeah, thank you. You're always so kind. You're always lovely to all the Lynn and the other moderators. So we appreciate that as a team. Thank you. Oh, hello from Barcelona. Yeah, see you on Monday, Lynn. Have a lovely weekend. Bridget, have a lovely weekend. Wendy, you take care of yourself. You have a lovely weekend. Ah, Susie, you're new here. Well, it's been lovely to have you here. I love the fact that you're here. So that's brilliant. Welcome. Do come again. Maya or Maya, apologies if I've said your name wrong. Yeah, I do one-to-one sessions. I'm a therapist. I work in the UK, and I see people, some people face to face, but mostly online. I see people from all over the world. At the moment, I'm full. I've got a waiting list, so it's taking some time to work through people. So there's a bit of a wait to see me, but all the details are on my profile. On my website if you're interested. So, right. Okay, I'm going to go. Take care. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. And I'll see you soon.